Hey gossipers, I'm back. So, in honor of National Coming Out the Closet Day, we decided that we would share our coming out the closet stories. We, as in me and my partner V, you guys may have already seen her post up on Instagram. So yeah, I decided to share my coming out story with you guys. So, for me, it started in middle school. Middle school is when I kind of felt like I was a little bit different than everybody else. I kind of felt I was confused. I didn't really like know right from wrong. Just in terms of like feelings of liking a guy or liking girls and things like that. Also, middle school is when I had my first couple um, sexual intercourses with a female. Um, I probably was in like seventh or eighth grade, and I knew then that okay, this wasn't for me. Like I didn't like that feeling. It wasn't. It didn't excite me. It wasn't really much of a turn on for me. Um, that's when okay, I go into high school and I'm in my freshman year of ninth grade. Um, I said my freshman year of ninth grade. Sorry, guys. My freshman year of high school. Um, and at that time, I still was kind of like covering it up. Wasn't sure, like if I wanted people to know. My mom still didn't know at the time, or she knew but just was in denial. Um, my aunt knew. My one auntie Bay, she knew. It was a couple family members that I told. I remember my aunt Chrissy saying that she was in denial. Um, just like my mom, she was in denial. She didn't want it to be that, but whatever. Um, so yeah, I'll never forget my cousin Akeem. He's another one. We sissies. Not sissies like sissies. I'm just being silly. No, but yeah, we're both gay, and we confided in each other, and we had each other's back, and he had my back, and actually, he's my older cousin, and he pretty much like just taught me the ropes of not being a follower and just staying on the right track, and like I experienced, my first gay club with him, my first like a boy trying to talk to me, being around him, like all of those kinds of things, and he just like made sure that I was on the right path. So I'll never forget. He took me to my first gay club. I'm from Philly, so we have this club called the Breakfast Club, and he was like, "Okay, bitch, I'm gonna take you to this club, let you get a taste of the gay night, the gay lifestyle, the gay scene." And I just thought I was grown. I was like 15, 16 years old. And first of all, anybody from Philly know about the Breakfast Club. You know the Breakfast Club is like the most ratchetest place to party in Philly. But it's so much fun. Like the only place you can party till like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God. Just so much fun. And I think the guy was Mike. I never forget because I was so hyped. The guy Mike tried to talk to me, had me all held up in the corner, and I just thought I was so decent. I thought I was so decent. And we just had a good time. We partied. That's when I met his friends. Like I remember Shonda being there. I remember Boo Boo being there. I remember Dara being there. Who else was there that I remember? Carlton was there. Um, who else? Who else? Who else? It was a few more other people. My cousin had like a big squad of like gay friends, a big squad, a big squad. But I remember those few people, and we just, like I said, had a good time. So I spent that weekend down my aunt Donna house, my cousin Akeem house, and I never forget. I went home that Sunday, And I just was a chipper. I had a boy phone number, and I just experienced my first gay club, and I just was hype and just as excited. And I'll never fucking forget, I walked in the door, and my mom was sitting in the living room crying. She was like on the phone with my Aunt T-Bay, and she was crying. And I'm looking like, who died? Like, what happened? The house was all gloomy. Wasn't nobody there. The TV was off. It was so dramatic. Anybody that know my mom knows that my mom is very dramatic. And anybody that know me knows that I'm very dramatic. So that's where I get it from. We are just like fucking extra, first of all. So yeah. Then I like zoned in on the the living room table, and boom, my damn journal was sitting right there, smack in the middle of the damn living room table. And when I seen that book, I knew in that moment that it was a wrap. I was like, fuck, like it's a wrap. You remember in high school, I don't know if anybody else did this, but we did. My friends, we would write in a journal, and we would pass it off to each other, and we would just like talk shit about people, or like tell our stories about who we slept with or who we liked, and or if it was drama going on, we was telling other people each other's business, like people business, and we would pass it off to each other, and then we would take turns and going home with it at night. And just like write if we was going through something at home, and give it, and then write each other notes and pass it off in between classes. We did all that corny shit in high school, but it was like our own little like group journal. And of course, it was my weekend to have the book home, and I hid the book. The book was under my mattress, so I know my mom, she like went and scoped my room out while I was gone, and she found the damn book. And I never forget, I sat down in the living room. She was like, sit down. And she was crying. And she was like, T-Bay, I'm going to call you back. And then I just sat there, and she sat quiet. I was nervous as hell. And I never forget, she was like, are you gay? And I was like, no. At first I said no. But then she was like, are you gay? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, are you having sex? And I was like, no. And she was like, well, that's not what this book is saying. That ain't what this book's saying. And I was like, I'm not. It's lies. I'm not having sex. So she was like, what did she say? Oh my God, I forgot what else she said. She was like, damn, she said something else. I forgot what she said. But all I knew was, in that moment, she wasn't happy. It was a rough ride with my mom. She didn't accept it at first. She was actually kind of mean to me after that. And that's expected with any parents, because I think it's because it's a shock factor. It sucks because you would think that your parent would like just love you regardless. Not saying that my mom didn't love me or don't love me. I don't want to put that out in the world. But, I just wish the initial factor was, you know what, I love you regardless. But it was, she went through her motions with it. She went through her motion. She was upset. She cried. She was angry with me. She didn't want to talk to me. I remember I didn't just get like kicked out, but I did like have to move in with my aunt just to let the dust settle for a little bit, until my mom was like ready to really like deal with it. And just over time, things just got better. Like, it was just cool. And I'll never forget, I talked to my aunt the next day, and she was like, aren't you happy you don't have to hide no more? Don't you feel free? Like the weight lifted off your shoulder? And all I could do was say yes. Like, I'm happy. And I'll never forget, I went back to school, and then I just was telling everybody, like, I'm gay, yup. They was like, you gay, yup. Like, anybody that wanted to ask the question around me being gay, I was like open to just flat out saying I was gay. Because at that point, my mom knew. And once my mom knew, for me, it was like, I don't give a fuck. But I always ask myself, like, I wonder how things would be now today had I went away with my cousin and had my mom wouldn't have found a journal. Like I always wonder, like, would I be miserable? Would I be like stuck trying to hide it? Would I be like as free and open and as a person that I am now? Like, how would I have ended up? And where would I be? Like, it just always crossed my mind how long of a charade would I have put on had I wouldn't have went away that weekend and my mom found my journal. But yeah, that's basically my coming out story, guys. Like nothing too crazy. Oh no, actually no, it is a little bit more to the story. So my dad, please. My dad was never around, so I'll never forget. My mom did this whole thing where she called my dad, and then that's what it was. When I was trying to figure out what she said, she called my dad, had my dad come over, and then my dad was like, "Well, what is this I'm hearing? Bet you messing with these boys. You better not be messing with no boys." And you a handsome young man. You don't need to be messing with no boys. Because if I find out, I'm going to whoop your ass. And I was looking at my dad like, nigga, you ain't been around. You ain't been around. So how dare you try to talk about you going to whip somebody's ass? And what is that going to solve? You can whip my ass and then I'm still going to go do what I want to do. And yeah, that ain't going to solve shit. So he left and life still went on. Now I'm gay. I'm gay and gay as ever. I'm married now. I've been married for 2 years now to a man. Been with him for 7 years, married for 2. And yeah, it is what it is. So that's my coming out story, guys. Feel free to share this and comment, like, if you have any more questions or anything like that. Feel free to leave them down at the bottom. Thank you. Love you, gossipers. Bye.